On today's video, I'm going to show you guys Constantine and Alexander on the battlefield. You can see their animations so you can recognize when they are near you and on the battlefield with you. On top of that, we're going to talk about 1v1 testing, why you should not be paying attention to 1v1 testing or relying on it at all. Everything and anything about that and how technically testing should be done and why it's not done that way. Let's get going, start this video, show you guys both these commanders in action, talk about everything. Sit back and enjoy. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the Gekko. If I sound weird, I will sound weird for a few videos from now on. I have an infection in one of my teeth. It's swollen, it hurts, it's crazy, but I'm still here making videos. If you guys want to help out with the pain, smash a like on this video to help me out a little bit with my pain, because I'm telling you, my mouth is so swollen I can barely speak. We're looking at Constantine right here as a secondary to a Charles Martel, a level 60 Charles Martel expertise with a 5511, I think level 35 Constantine. Hulk is a tier 5 player. He is on JWM territory while I'm not in JWM. And he's facing my level 60 expertise Richard and level 51 Charles Martel expertise as well. Now, he's a tier 5 with the max researches. He has the good skin on him. And he has his alliance buffs, plus the fact that he's much stronger than me. And what you're still seeing here is the fact that my army is lasting longer. Now, of course, Richard's heals are nuts. And so that's how I stay on the battlefield and might even be able to beat him off of it and survive it. We're going to see in a moment and explain how this happened, and this is a great example as to why 1v1s suck. You can see right there the proc by Constantine. In a moment it'll happen against as Constantine will cast a ray of light, put the cross on the floor, all the buffs happen from that skill, and ba-bam, that's how you can recognize a Constantine on the field. The reason I don't like 1v1s is because there is too much to control to be able to have a controlled environment. A controlled environment means that everything is the same except for one small thing, and that one small thing is what we're testing. To count a little bit of the things that you need to keep in mind while testing 1v1s. Research level on both accounts. Obviously, if you're a tier 5 player, both tier 5 players, you're evened out. The skin that your castle is wearing. The territory you're doing the fight on. The levels of the commanders you're sending. The types of trees on the leading commander on both sides. The types of troops and counts you're sending. The tier types of troops that you're sending. And that's just to start it off. There's plenty more we can think of in terms of positioning, in terms of who hit first, in terms of turns, in terms of everything and anything. A very small change in the talent tree can be a huge difference to winning or losing a 1v1. Now, winning or losing a 1v1 isn't determined by this right here, where I stay on the battlefield while he doesn't. It's determined on, in theory, on the amounts of severely wounded on each side, in which case I'm about to lose quite a bit. At least I got that achievement. Thank you, Hulk. So you can see 13,000 more in on my severely wounded, and we're both using the same types of troops and the same counts and everything. I want to look at the report really quickly, but before that, you can see he is way ahead of me on infantry attack, infantry defense, infantry health, everything. He's way ahead of me on everything. He's a tier 5 player. I'm not. What did you expect? I'm nowhere near that. Hulk said, I'm going in. I don't mind. Let's do this. And never asked for anything in return. So big shout out to you, Hulk. Thank you for helping me with this video. You can see in round 12, the Edict of Milan proccing. And then from there, it's available for 4 turns. It's supposed to be 5. And then it goes to 0 turns and still works. This is a computer science issue. When you have an array, which is a consecutive, it's a database, it's a way of saving in a consecutive order data. The counter starts from 0 and goes up. Let's say if it's 5, it'll go up to 4 because you count 0, 1. It'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. which is what we have right here. That is why it'll say 0 turns left and still have the cast available. So that's an FYI. I think that Lilith can easily fix that by making it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's that. But whatever, just to answer that question, because a lot of people ask me, why does it say 0 turns left and it still works? That is why. Now let's go look at Alexander. Look at his skills, proccing on the field. Look at the animations, and then continue talking about 1v1 testing. So you can see right here, he changed his troops up a little bit. That's the shield by Alexander right there. Look at the amount of damage that he is saving. You can see, look, keep an eye on the damage that I do. And look at it after the shield is on the field. Look at, I think like 2 or 3 seconds, I don't hit him at all while he hits me. That is crucial. But we're only seeing 1 shield. And so I asked them to take those 2 marches that are right there on the above me and move them into the circle radius of that shield, hoping that that'll do the trick. I had to verify I was recording. It's pretty funny. Like when you do these things for so long, you're like, did I hit record? And then I always have to do that, and I don't know why it records it, but it does. So that's right there, the shield. That's how you'll know if an Alexander is on the open field. The big problem here is that we found out that the secondary shield doesn't work on your own troops. You'll see in a bit that he's gonna move his troops closer, and then he's gonna attack me with the second troop, and the small shield will never show up anywhere. I didn't see it on the report either, but I might have missed it. I have a feeling that what this means is that the shield works for allied troops and not yours. Now this is crucial for one important thing. The main reason I don't like 1v1s is that the likelihood of you 1v1ing on the battlefield is slim to none. I'm gonna ask you this. If you see your friend, your alliance mate, going 1v1 against an enemy on the battlefield and you're next to it, what do? You go to help them. That's the most obvious thing ever. And now it's no 1v1 anymore. It's a 2v1. And now his pairing, that was the best 1v1 pairing, got destroyed by the worst pairings because there's 2 of them and not 1. The battlefield, open battlefield, by the way, is a terrible, terrible thing for wars. It exhausts your resources as well as the enemies. You don't gain too much out of it. In Lost Kingdom, what we learned the hard way was anyone who was doing open field combat was only inflating their kills and their deaths. Kinda. If they were getting deaths for some weird reason, hitting cities or something like that. But all they did was inflate their kills, and that's that. And so you don't achieve anything out of it. Open field combat is a big no-no for wars in general. It just exhausts everybody, and it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you in any way whatsoever. And so if you're either swarming or getting swarmed, or you're rallying or getting rallied, how do 1v1 tests have anything to do with anything? How do they give you absolutely any indicator for anything? You can see that when the circle for the shield popped up, Genghis Khan's HP bar showed up for a moment, but he didn't get a shield, which was really weird. And obviously, you'll see in a moment that one of Hulk's second marches is going to hit me and nothing happens. So I guess the shield is meant for an ally, which is what it says. We figured, I have my own second march. It should work. Nope, it does not. Very important finding, because in this case, that skill, which is very useful, that shield, is only relevant if you're swarming with allies or you have allies nearby inside that radius to give that shield to. If you're sending 5 marches to swarm someone, you'll not get the shields, the secondary shields. That's kind of pointless. Anyway, you can see right here that Hulk is about to hit me with that second march with a Boudica. No shield shows up. Big boo-hoo. Lesson learned. Bottom line is this. I don't believe in 1v1s. I don't think you should believe in 1v1s. I don't think that 1v1s have anything to do with anything. You guys heard that alarm right there, letting me know that there is a ancient ruins coming up. It doesn't mean anything of anything. All it means is that based on the very, very peculiar situation the 2 people were in who had them more severely wounded. I never ever saw a video where someone said, the skins we used were the same, these are the talent trees, these are the levels, this is the research level, we're both off of Alliance territory, we are both the same type of level individual, we're using the same troop count, we're using the same troop type. most likely what most people do is they bring their best pair and their most numbers and the most everything against the other side and hope for the best. I've seen tests where people sent the main guy they're testing with a leadership commander so they can buff up a little bit the troops. Nothing comes out of it. 1v1 tests are completely useless in my opinion, and most of the top tier of the game will tell you you don't get much out of 1v1 tests. I just wanted to show you guys that I did lose this one, and I really didn't feel like having that many severely wounded, so I backed off with like 30,000 troops left. You can definitely see here though that we're kind of evened up more than before, and even here when I was getting 2 double hit, I still held my own pretty well against a tier 5 player, regardless of the fact that he's a tier 4 troops, right? He still has more infantry attack than me, and that's the difference that gave him that little bit of extra severely wounded on me. I also want to show you guys very briefly the report right there. You can see right there on the report, all the turns. Turn 12 is the one where we procced, and then from there, the shield lasted for a few seconds, and then in turn 21, we had another cast. And so it seems like on a 1v1, 7 turns is what it takes to cast again. And so, not 7 turns, it would be 9 turns is what it takes to cast again. And so, I don't believe that if you're getting swarmed, it's every 9 seconds. I believe you're casting much faster. And this also adds to that 1v1 theory, because some commanders can do a lot of damage by casting over and over and over. And so they'll do better by being swarmed. And they might lose on a 1v1 because they're not casting as often. But when you're getting swarmed, you are casting very, very, very often and doing massive damage. Don't do 1v1s. Don't rely on 1v1s. You want to do proper training, you got to get swarmed, and you got to swarm to test. Period. That's all it is. And it's ridiculously expensive. It's not easy. It's not as easily doable. It hurts a lot to test it. And I really don't recommend testing with tier 5s, by the way. Testing with tier 5s is just ridiculously expensive. You should be testing with tier 4s, even tier 3s, because quite honestly, no skill, no anything, nothing has anything to do with the type of troops you're using. All that you'll get at the end of the day is a heavier bill to heal. Anyway, I'm the Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you guys can now recognize an Alexander on the battlefield as well as a Constantine, and you guys enjoyed their animations right there. That is Constantine once again. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Discord in the description down. We're at 1,200 plus members. Thank you guys for joining the Discord, and my Twitter is down there as well. You guys have been following me on Twitter lately. 208 followers. Thank you guys very much. The Gekko TV is me on Twitter. I'm pretty often out there. I'm pretty often active out there. Make sure you give me a follow and tweet at me. I'll definitely reply back to you. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Enjoy your weekend. I hope that this infection thingy goes away, or else I'm screwed. Well, I'm screwed regardless because it's going to be a lot of dental work to fix it. But for now, it is what it is. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Take care. Thank you for other continued support. Big shout out to you, Hulk. Thank you for 1v1ing me.